last night while watching the Royals lose a game of baseball. Did you go to the game?
Yeah.
Okay, I got confused.
He was in a hat. Do you have your glove with you?
No, not my glove.
You had
Bo
those
Jackson
horrible
jersey.
gloves?
Yeah, he was ready.
I had a Bo Jackson jersey in my Royals hat. Yeah.
He was ready.
Is there a problem?
Part of me thought that you went just outside of Yankee Stadium. A select committee of fans, stands, and gentlemen fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all sports. It's a special version with a twist, I guess, of NBA Tears.
Yeah, so the committee raised an objection yesterday.
Okay.
Which was the committee never gets to get on the record with predictions. It's, we provide America's most accurate sports ranking service, but at the start of a postseason, it's never like, hey, here's how the committee thinks things are going to go. So they decided that this week's tiers will let you know how they think the NBA playoff bracket is going to fall. You will follow along as we reveal it, but it will make sense. Brew, I figured you would. I figured you would figure it out.
Is it something else?
It's tiers.
As I told the audience, tiers.
It is tiers.
You'll like it.
You'll get
You'll
it.
like it.
It's tiers. Just Wilds.
You'll like it.
A crystal
Your
ball.
pithy introduction is over. Now, allow me to present the tiers. We know who's been eliminated. We know who's out, so we can show that to you. They're off the tiers. They're out. In fact, after this week, we won't even have to show you that anymore. Speaking of teams, we want to show you much more. Bottom of the tiers, few days left. These teams will be gone here in very short order. And then that gives us a week left. Two teams that we think are going to get swept in round one. The Hawks against... Now, that does assume the Hawks are going to win their play-in game. But against the Cavs, and then the Magic against the Celtics. Now two teams that the committee believes are going to lose in round one, but the question is, can you make it a series? That is the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. So the committee believes the Grizzlies are going to win their play-in game, and I'm here to tell you I do not think they can make it a series against OKC. I think OKC is going to annihilate them the way the Warriors were supposed to last night. Timberwolves a little trickier. Brew has said multiple times, and I tend to agree with him, even though it sounds counterintuitive. I think this will be a hard-fought 5 games. And 5 games. It would be a hard-fought 5 games.
We've never seen a hard-fought 4.
What? Well, if it's 4, it's a sweep. There's no such thing.
Sweep.
I mean, it's just 4.
There's no such thing as a hard-fought 4.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I just said there's no such thing as a close sweep. But so the committee thinks these two teams are both down in round one, along with these two teams. But these two teams should put up a real fight, and that is the Pacers, who are the favorites in their series, and the Pistons. Now, the Pistons are huge underdogs to the Knicks, but I believe, and the committee believes, that that's going to be a tough series, that Cade Cunningham is going to have a bit of a coming-out party, and that should be a tough series. Pacers is a trickier one because of the 5 best players in that series. The Pacers probably have 4 of them. But the best player in the series, Giannis, since Dame's been gone, is averaging damn near a triple-double of his own, has been playing point center, and has been utterly dominant. The committee thinks the Bucks can win that series, which gives us to 2 other teams the committee thinks are going to win 1 round and 1 round only, and they must win that round. That is the Bucks and the Knicks. The Milwaukee Bucks, because you have Giannis, cannot be one and done 3 straight years in the playoffs. And the New York Knicks, after trading approximately a half dozen first-round picks, and along with Julius Randle and Dante and all of it to build this team, you can't lose in round one to a Pistons team that last year I think won 14 games when you made it to round 2 last year. So they must win a round. Committee expects them to only win 1 round. Then we get to the 7-game wars round tier. Pardon me. The committee thinks both of these teams are going home in round 1. But the committee thinks both of these teams are going to be in 7-game classics.
Yeah. That
they end up losing the 7th game on the opponent's home court. And even if they were to win, they might have be a little too beat up afterwards. But as good as the Clippers have been the last 2 months, and as good as the Warriors were prior to the last 2 weeks, really, I don't think the committee doesn't think they win around these playoffs. Limping into round 2, however, would be the 2 teams that beat them in those 7-game wars. 2 teams the committee thinks is going to make it to round 2, but round 1 will have taken quite a bit out of them. Now, the Nuggets will be very scary if they get past the Clippers because of Joker, and the Rockets will be feeling themselves if you beat the Golden State Warriors. No one's really going to intimidate you after you've stared them in the eye and beat them. And that then brings us to 2 teams that we expect in the conference finals, but no further. And those are teams without a playoff pedigree, but they do have an amazing regular season pedigree. And this is nothing against the number 1 seeds in both of their conferences. However, unlike the teams above them, they have no one on their team that knows what it's like to make a finals, to win a championship. Hell, do they have, trying to think, they have any experience really for anybody making a conference finals? That's a big, Donovan Mitchell never made a conference finals in Utah. So the answer to that is no, of any real sort. And so that then gives us our top tier, which is the committee's projected NBA finals, the Celtics and the Lakers. And so there is the tiers going into the playoffs, and if you follow it down, it is the committee's NBA playoff bracket.
Interesting.
Brew?
Okay, I looked at it like typical tiers, not picks. So I'm judging it by
That's fair.
chances to win the championship. And so, and also just because of your picks too, I am putting the Clippers and the Warriors, Wilds, Clippers, and the Warriors ahead of the Rockets. Rockets got to come down. Now look, I have gained more faith and confidence and respect for the Rockets over the past few weeks than I had earlier. I always respected them, but I just wrote them off as a bunch of young upstarts who have no chance. It will be a tough, hard-fought series. It will be a tough, hard-fought series with the Warriors. But the Warriors, I believe, will win, and the Clippers, I believe, beat Denver. I'm putting both of them ahead of the Rockets. And this is where I talk about chances to win the championship. If the Rockets win, they'll likely play, we think, the Lakers, which we both think will beat the Rockets. If the Clippers win, then they will play OKC. I just think the Clippers would have a better chance of beating OKC than the Rockets would of beating the Lakers. So that's another reason I think they should be above. But here's the deal, and you do this a lot, so I'll be interested to see how you respond to this. In that Rockets-Warriors series,
who's
the best player?
Steph.
Who's the second best player?
Shingun.
Better than Jimmy Butler?
Yes.
In the playoffs? No.
Well, I can't listen. I can't.
Playoff Jimmy's different.
I understand playoff
And
Jimmy's.
Shingun is good.
We don't know what playoff
is.
Shingun is. Never seen it.
Great point.
I definitely think Butler's better.
He's certainly more proven, but this year Jimmy, even if he had met the threshold, you wouldn't have considered him for All NBA, and Shingun major All NBA.
Yeah, but it also different positions. I think Jimmy is as much as I respect and like Shingun.
It's a fair take.
Jimmy is better because Jimmy's impact isn't just based on his stats.
No,
he has he really galvanizes a team. As Ime Udoka's great. I had him third on my coach of the year, but Kerr's a better coach, better defender. Best defender in the series is Draymond. So, and obviously experience. So I just look at all that. You talked about a failure for the Celtics to go 6 with Orlando. Again, respect to Houston. If the Warriors lose this is a huge failure.
Oh, yes.
Huge failure.
Even though I think because they went.
They played so well once they got Butler.
And they did not make this trade to go out in round 1. They could have gone out in round 1 without doing it, and they didn't. So I agree with that. A couple things to respond to. One is, my bad when I said Celtics, Cavs have no championship experience. I forgot. Lakers great Alex Caruso won a championship. He's on the Thunder. But so the Cavs, so that there was clarification. But I think that's the only guy on the 2 rosters that plays that has any finals experience, much less a championship. Now, I understand the argument for the Clippers because I don't look at the Nuggets as clearly better than the Clippers. I just look at it.
That's going to be a good.
I look at it as I think it's a coin flip and they have home court, and I think that James Harden's, playoff woes are never far behind him. I don't think the Warriors have earned the right to be judged differently than their seed. I think they were earning it, and I think they gave it back over the last 2 weeks. I think that
you give that experience nothing.
No. I give it something, but I also think that it's different experience when it's only two guys that have any experience together. Steph and Draymond. You know what I mean? Jimmy has none of that connectivity with him.
But he sure looks like he fits in.
Yeah, he fits
listen, he's been unbelievable, but I thought you were going to go, and maybe we would have, but we disagreed on the Şengün Jimmy thing. Even if it goes Steph, Jimmy, then Şengün, where it gets tricky for the Warriors is you are going to name, of the best 10 players in the series, 7 Rockets and 3 Warriors. Now, maybe 1 and 2 are Rockets, or 1 and 3 are, I'm sorry, 1 and 2 are Warriors, pardon me, I misspoke.
3 of the top 4 are probably Warriors.
Depending. And so, but the Rockets have players that won't crack their real playoff rotation that the Warriors would love to have. Like that the Warriors would be giving minutes to, and so I wonder how much that will factor in. But go ahead.
It's also largely my argument for Celtics versus Lakers. So if this is just your finals pick, I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not mine, it's the committee's.
But I didn't know that you were twisting tiers because we've done tiers for 3 years. And it's always been the same.
It was Knicks picks.
No, this was not Knicks picks.
No, that's a football game.
It feels like Knicks picks, though.
Again, I have a loud voice in the committee, but I'm not the only voice. But go ahead.
So I think the Celtics should be alone.
But by themselves. Okay, that's fair.
But that
that's
ruins
fine. No, it doesn't ruin it because
format.
the committee didn't give a finals prediction. So maybe you're saying they should have and should have said the Celtics are going to win it.
I
but
guess
go ahead.
so.
But
All
go
right,
ahead.
so I would like I think the Celtics do not belong on the same tier as the Los Angeles Lakers. So first, and Brew, this is something that you talk about, where we just look at sort of the big rankings between the two teams. And the Celtics are the champs, obviously. They've got the second best record. And I only do since Luka's debut because I throw out everything else. Their record is still the 10th. Offensive rating, the Celtics are second. I know that the Lakers are supposed to be this great offensive team. They're 14th. The defensive rating, Celtics are 4th. Defensive rating for the Lakers is 17th. They're not a excellent defensive team.
That part's definitely true. Can I ask you about the offense?
Sure.
So I agree with you that the Lakers are not going to be an excellent defensive team. And even if the defensive rating, was better, I would say that's probably not a fair projection. Do you agree that the Lakers offense, you expect it to be way better than a league average offense?
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
I'm hoping so. So this is the tricky thing, and I oftentimes get labeled a Lakers hater.
Because you lean into
Because I just put regular old stats on the screen. Okay, tell me what's odd about this.
Little smart remarks here and there.
Here's their record together. I keep on tilting the scales for the Lakers. I take out the games where guys are injured, take this out, because I keep on hearing, they're the best duo. All right. One duo are the reigning champions. They went, I can't read that, 40 and 16, 71.714. LeBron and Luka together are 15 and 8, 0.652. But everyone will tell me that the Lakers are the best duo.
Imagine how much once Luka's not coming off an injury, LeBron's not coming off an injury. Imagine, and they're still 652.
Key word.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
That is the key.
Yes.
To the point where I thought this. You thought my recliner analogy was great.
Here we go.
Lakers. A little bit like AI.
Oh, God. No, don't do that.
I get it. Like, I see it. I'm like, holy cow. I can see the future and how this can be so devastating. But then I'm like, what proof? Do we have any proof right now? And it's like, yeah, they're writing college essays. Okay, that's something like anything else. You put in Photoshop of Santa water ski and it'll just pump it out. Okay, I guess so. That's what it is, 15 and 8. And a mediocre defense and a mediocre. Those are just the facts. So that's the team, the stars, and quickly everybody else. And this is when I said it sounded like when you're talking Rockets Warriors, also sounded like the storyline for Celtics Lakers. This is bench production. So obviously, Celtics crush bench production. And then if you just want to do eye test of matching guys up, Austin versus Derek White, Rui versus Porzingis, Gabe versus Drew Holiday, Jackson Hayes versus Al Horford. I don't know if the Lakers are winning any of those. So for those 3 or 7 reasons in an AI
No, it's a good,
analogy,
right. So just,
I think the Celtics stand alone.
So
also, once the champion.
I can't fathom why people call you a Lakers hater.
What was a hater about that? Honest to God, what was? They're 15 and 8.
Hold on. So 15 and 8, by the way, is an excellent record.
I'm not saying they're not excellent. I'm saying they're not as good as the Boston champion Celtics.
Hold on. So a couple things, so I can answer your first question, and then I have a question for you. I do think that going 15 and 8, despite the fact that that's the first time those include the first games they ever played together, which includes game Luka was coming off an injury, which includes games LeBron was coming off an injury, is a piece of it. I don't know why that's frustrating you, KW.
Because if a guy gets traded because he's out of shape and then he gets injured, and the other guy's 40 years old and he gets injured, that's part of the equation. And the other 2 guys are 26. That's got to be part of it.
And oddly, the least
healthy. What? He doesn't care.
And oddly, the least healthy of any of the 4 is the one who's injured.
Oh, he doesn't care.
And here is, and hold on.
He played
and
through it.
Here is what, because then I do have a question for you, but I have to address this. And this, you cannot, before the show, talk to me and be like, it's been 2 months. I still can't get over that Luka got traded. It's the craziest thing ever.
It is crazy to trade him.
Hold on a second. It's so dumb, it engenders conspiracies. And then on the show be like, well, he got traded because he was fat, like it was a smart thing to do.
No.
You can't do that.
No.
You can't call it.
You're like, the guy got injured. Oh, you're kidding me, really?
No, he didn't get injured.
He can't touch the rim.
He was, that's why. See,
that's
why.
I believe he can touch the rim. Now, do you go back and watch those rookie year dunk videos? Is he doing that stuff?
Now, however, Brew, there was a method to the committee's madness here, which is Kevin Wildes likes to wait to give predictions until series have started or whatever it is.
I like to gather some data.
However, we need you, and it sounds like you just did it, to go on the record with who you think is winning the championship.
Oh, the Celtics are winning.
Okay, last week you wouldn't do that. So there you go.
Yeah, but I wanted to have some more fanfare.
There was no, what do you mean?
I could wear a little hat or something.
Wear green, a green suit.
Put on a little hat.
Put on a hat. I've got a hat.
No.
I've got I got the hat. I got this hat.
You know what I thought about getting? A full Rockets outfit.
Elton John?
No, that would be cool. I don't know if it would translate. Like, what is exactly is he doing?
Winning the West?
Probably not.
Who's winning the West?
Your pick is OKC, I think.
Probably. I want to root for the Rockets. The problem is, and we've got it coming up in the show, gosh darn it, the statistics Warriors versus Rockets are not good.
You're going to pick against the Rockets in round 1?
I just have...
After all...
You can.
After all you've done this year...
Pick the winner, and you know the winner.
No, I still pick the Rockets.
We'll see. We'll see.
But I'm not going to lie. Like, the stats
well,
from
then you
NBA.com...
owe me and Brew an apology.
One team doesn't pass the ball.
He picked the Rockets because of you.
All year, you were saying we were disrespecting the Rockets because Brew and I both were like, hey, depending on how the bracket breaks, we might be surprised if they win a round. Now I'm picking them, and you're going to go the other way?
I can't wait to
This
see
is from
these
John
graphics.
Schumann. While Golden State led the league by a wide margin in assist rate, Houston ranked last. I'm like, oh my God, last?
That was true when you were pimping them all year.
But I didn't know they were dead last in passing the ball.
Okay, you're so...
Still, it's the Celtics.
Wow.
I'm still picking the
There's
Rockets.
always room on Brew's bandwagon. You got about 15 minutes left to pick.
I'm still picking the Rockets, and I'm talking about the Celtics.
There's no base. I see half a toe down.
Wait till you hear these stats. Unbelievable.
I can't wait to see these stats.
Well,
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.